Well, hello again. Okay, so this is the summary of the most recent two-shoe session against the Wizard of Odds. I'm starting to get it right. The Wizard of Odds blackjack sim that's freely available online, and things are just looking worse and worse for card counting. I don't have an axe to grind as far as card counting is concerned. All I'm doing is reporting what I see, and it's a bit of a mystery to me. I mean, it really is, because I was very intrigued by the Thorp book, Beat the Dealer, when I first arrived in the United States on the first day, in fact, of 1976. Not exactly then, but when I first got to Las Vegas and started to pay attention to what was going on there. So I guess that would have been late 76 or 77. Anyway, to try and sort of cut to the chase here, it just seemed so sensible, and the reaction to it was very positive. Lots of excitement in blackjack circles. The casinos, of course, did what they always do when their bottom line is threatened. They came up with all kinds of new rules to thwart card counters, and reacted with typical paranoia. And of course, what actually happened was that, thanks to Ed Thorp, blackjack became even more popular. I mean, it just started to soar, because people got the idea that, hey, you know, this is a game that can actually be beaten. So it became a different animal, and I think Ed Thorp probably did more for Las Vegas back in the day. I keep wanting to say lost wages, Las Vegas. Anyway, back in the day, than pretty much anybody else. I mean, except Steve Wynn, who, strange guy though he is, did absolute wonders for that place. But anyway, that's a whole other story. You have to forgive me. My channel, I'm inclined to keep rambling on. I've tried editing myself without success, and so I just keep bumbling along. And all of you have the luxury of the speed button and the skip button, so you can avoid any of this stuff if you're not interested. Anyway, as far as this latest two-shoe session is concerned, excuse me, I have to take a drink here. It's pretty obvious from the charts on the right, that number one, yet another success. You know, taking the strategy from 220,000 to just shy of 228,000, and the pattern chart below that on the right demonstrates the truth of you know, that we all know already, but lots of people argue against, and that is that there are exploitable patterns that can help us all to beat negative expectation if we just know what we're looking for and what to do with it. So as far as card counting is concerned, I'm just going to go to the top of this, and as I say, I have no axe to grind. I honestly don't. I've always thought that card counting sounded like a very sensible idea. The difficulty is that it's just not being borne out by what I've learned here. And okay, lots of people are going to say, well, okay, so you're pointing now to 2,800 bets. That's not representative, that's not definitive, that doesn't prove anything, blah, 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 blah. The truth is that anything that doesn't prove itself in 2,800 bets probably isn't viable. It's not definite, but it's probable. And if you look at the way the casinos function, if they're looking at a new game, or they're looking at at modifications to an old game. They want to see a benefit well within 2,800 bets. And if you run a say 2,800 spins on a roulette wheel, you will see a negative expectation which pretty much falls in line with either 5.6 if it's rip-off American roulette with 2 zeros, or about 2.7% against you if it's European roulette with a single zero. And apparently there's something called French roulette, which I've never been aware of, because of course my experience is limited essentially to Nevada. Well, apparently that costs you only half your bet if the zero comes up. So, you know, I'm so sorry about the constant throat clearing. I just can't seem to fix it. You know, so that's about sort of 1.35%, which would put French roulette in line with blackjack well played, baccarat sensibly bet, and so on. So that's all pretty good. But just look down there. You know, up the top here, we've got for the current session, we've got positive deck value cost us 30,000. Negative deck value won us 290,000, and neutral deck value cost us 32,000. If we just look at the numbers here, because the amounts, anybody I suppose who's pro card counting could say, well, yeah, your whole betting strategy is ridiculous, and if you didn't follow that, then you'd be fine. Well, you know, obviously that's not fair, because the betting strategy is delivering a very, very high level of profit right now. But let's just look at the numbers down here where the little wiggly thing is going round and round right now. Positive deck values for all of the ones since I started actually including the card count. 553 wins, 654 losses. So that's a disadvantage with positive deck value of 8.4%. Negative deck values, 614 winners, 772 losers, a disadvantage or a negative expectation of well, not expectation, an actual negative value of minus 11.4%. That's troubling. The only thing that you can say in favour of card counting is that the positive negative is not as nasty as the negative negative, if you get my meaning. But anyway, there we are. That's where we're at currently. I'm not even going to look at the 212 or Manhattan system. I think that's just such a load of absolute crap. So I'm not going to look at that. But you know, it's something to think about, is all I'm basically saying. And you know, one question that you should ask yourself, I think, is the Wizard of Odds blackjack sim reliable? It deals it features an 8-deck shoe. It cuts into the 8-deck shoe by about 2 decks, just over 2 decks, meaning that you've got just under 6 decks to play with. You can alter that. You know, the sim allows you to change that penetration. I've been saying for the longest time that shuffles and deck penetration and cut cards and burn cards and blah-de-blah-de-blah mean absolutely nothing. All that matters is win-loss patterns. But I think that anybody who wants to challenge what I'm talking about here needs to spend some serious time assessing, evaluating the Wizard of Odds blackjack simulation to see if, number one, it deals cards honestly and accurately, and number two, if it keeps the count accurately. And it features running count, which is, you know, without adjusting for however many decks are left, and then true count, which takes that running count and says, okay, well at this point there are 3 decks left, so we divide the running count by 3. I believe, honestly, I believe that all of that is completely irrelevant to the task of beating negative expectation. But lots of people disagree with me. And, you know, when you're dealing with a situation where lots of people think you're stark raving nuts, then you may not agree with them, you may not concede that you're stark raving nuts, but you do at least have to listen. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I constantly come back to this analysis of the Nevada gaming revenue report for the year 2023, simply because, you know, we have people telling us all the time that negative expectation for blackjack is about 0.7, minus 0.7 house advantage, and we're looking at here a win percentage of nearly 15%. Similarly with Baccarat, we're told that the house advantage there is about 1.35% against us, the players, and we're actually looking at 16%, 16.4%, and for mini-back, for some reason, it's less. I think I'm right reading that across. Yeah, 12.34%. You know, the real criminal games are 3-card poker, which is supposed to be about 3% and is actually 32.18%, and Ultimate Texas Hold'em, which is supposed to be about minus 2.5% and is actually 22%. All of these numbers, of course, these percentages on this chart here from the Nevada Gaming Control Board, all they basically tell us is that the numbers that we understand are the true negative expectation for these games are skewed by the fact that most players play like idiots. And so, you know, that's why 21 makes so much money for the casinos, and Baccarat makes even more money, blah, 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 blah. So, anyway, all I'm saying is it's something to think about. Please don't reject it out of hand. Think carefully about card counting. If you're serious about winning, if you really want to tackle blackjack or baccarat, then spend some time with the sims that I use, because I really do highly recommend them. The Wizard sim, blackjack sim, is free. The Baccarat Win Pro is free for a week, and then you have to cough up, I think it's about $20 for, I don't even know what the numbers are, because, you know, I got into a situation where I just basically said to them, I said, here, look, this is what I'm doing with what I've learned about your incredible Baccarat platform. I'm going to promote it for no money, but I don't expect to be charged to use it. That's basically what I said to them, and they agreed with that. So I don't make any money out of Baccarat Win Pro, but I don't pay for it. And I'm saving, whoa, you know, probably $20 a month, or I don't know, maybe less. I don't really care. All I know about the Baccarat Win Pro thing is that it gives you so much information that if you're serious about kicking ass at Baccarat, then you need to pay attention to that. And similarly, if you really want to learn how to beat the house at blackjack, then put in some real serious time with the Wizards blackjack simulation. And before I committed to that, I spent a lot of time counting through every damn card that came, you know, across the pike, every card that came out of the shoe, for hours and hours and hours. And I found the Wizards sim to be 100% accurate, and then I accepted the card count that it delivers, you know, because I did my own card counting for hours. I'm quite good at it, actually, even though I don't use it, because it really isn't hard. Whatever people might say to you, oh dear, I spent years learning that. Well, to me, it's a no-brainer. But and I'm not bright. I think I'm probably a little smarter than the average bear, but I'm certainly not a genius of any description. I'm just smart enough to go after opportunities which I can identify and which I can see are exploitable and beneficial if you don't play the way that a lot of people, that most people in fact, probably 999 in every 1,000 Vegas gamblers play in a way that's just basically suicide. So it's a bad idea to bet like crazy, to just throw your money around because you won't win, and it's a bad idea to bet a very narrow spread because you won't win, and it's a very, 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 very bad idea to just keep betting, say, I don't know, $5 on every single hand, because over time the same problem arises. So random betting will lose, according to the at least according to the or at best according to the known negative expectation. Random betting will lose. Flat betting will lose. The only way that you can beat negative expectation is pattern betting or something similar. And there are lots of different ways of doing things. There obviously is the small martingale, which I think is silly because it only pays a profit of 1 unit after what can sometimes be a really punishing negative run. But I've adjusted, I've made my own modification of that, which is the smartingale, the smarty marty I have to call it now, because somebody else stole the rather clever expression smartingale. So that's life. But anyway, all I'm saying to you is I don't hate card counting. I just don't think it works, and the information that I have in front of me says it doesn't work. And with the Thorp thing, which is currently on the present sample 12,200 down, I made adjustments for the remaining cards in the shoe, and so it's the Thorp tracking thing that I've got running right now uses the true count, and it just doesn't make a profit. I have played with people who've been counting cards and they've made money. I mean, I remember this guy George Williams, who I met years and years ago in downtown Las Vegas. Don't know whether he's still alive, don't know whether he's famous, don't know what he is. He was great fun. And we also were playing with a dealer who was completely nuts. I mean, like, obviously the dealers were rotating in and out, but this guy kept coming back. And he was just completely crazy, but very funny, very fast, which was good for us. There was just the two of us playing at the table, and George did great. He bet 25 when the deck was neutral or negative, and 100. I think that's what he did. I don't remember the exact range, but his spread was not very wide. But he bet 25, just two values, 25 or 100. And he didn't use Thorp. He didn't bet according to the exact value of the true count. He just went 25 or 100, and he made a lot of money. A reasonable amount of money, certainly well over a couple of thousand. And I did okay, somewhat less well, because my range was my minimum was much lower. It was probably, I don't know, back then it might even have been $2. And my highest bet was probably not more than 100, but I did okay. I did fine, and I mostly did. In all the years that I was in Nevada, I mostly did just fine. I had a shoestring budget basically, but I was pretty canny with it. I would step back, I would take a breath, I would all the kinds of things that I've talked about boringly on these different presentations that I'm putting up on YouTube, or have been for the last I don't know, what is it now, coming up to 9 months I think. Anyway folks, thanks for bearing with me. The actual recorded session will come after this, going back down to the bottom, just so you can see what I was talking about. You can see that, as usual, I'm making mistakes. These are these things in square brackets here in column B. I wish I didn't make mistakes, but I do. You know, in real play, I'm a little bit better, but not much. You know, I just does me best. And what have we got? We're coming all the way back up here to the. There we go. So the last session, the last two shoes session, we won 18,000. We had nearly 19,000, but that was ridiculous. I think we had an 11,000 double down or something like that. And what we're looking at here is we're looking at us winning 18.7% of our total action, and the actual negative, you know, the actual value through that two shoes in the house's favour was 11.3%. So, you know, that's what counts. What really matters is kicking the house's arse, even though they've won a lot more bets than you have. Down here, in the latest two shoes session, I made, sorry, I'll stick with we made, shall I? 7,775, which is 34% of total action, and expectation or actual value in the house's favour was 3.1%. And that's calculated simply by saying, okay, so, you know, what was the actual value just looking at naturals counting as plus 1.5, losses counting as -1, wins counting as +1, and then doubles according, you know. So down here you see, you know, we had a lot of successful doubles in that last stretch. So a yes is a win double, a no is a losing double, like there's one up here. So they're -2 and +2. Washes, of course, or pushes, are 0, and whenever there's a double or a split, which then gets wider because you've doubled down after splitting or whatever, you know, they're just shown as numbers. There are not very many of those, actually. Going back up. Yeah. So anyway, that's the story with all these things. The numbers here, 11.3%, and then we go up to the next one, which shows a 16.8% house advantage, but we made 12.5%, and then the next one up, we made 6.9% against -22%. I mean, bloody hell. And here we made 29.4% against -16.2%. Here we made 27.1%, but we should have won, because the two shoes session was in our favour to the tune of 8.1%. You don't get that very often. Here we made 3.1% against 27.6. Well, you can read the stuff yourself, of course. Up and up I go. That was my first word processor. I mean, look at this one. We made 25%. At the work, the house advantage during that session was 33%. I mean, good grief. Here it was 18% and we made 11. There it was in our favour, so we should have won, but we made 8.1%, did a little bit better than the 5.6. And here the house is, I mean, look at this, the house advantage sometimes is just... And I hope you're looking at all these pattern things as we go by each time. You know, I mean, it's just incredible that there are people out there who say, there are no patterns. No. Yeah, they all work for casinos. I'm sure they do. Anyway, that's it for this summary, and the two-shoe recorded session follows. Okay, so. Thanks for sticking with me. For those of you who didn't jump ahead or fast forward or put me on, they only do double speed, don't they? So you have to jump, or I sound like a chipmunk. Anyway, talk to you later. All right, so I'm back at the wizard's table. I don't know. I've been having fun lately. I tested this very, very simple, straightforward baccarat system which I'm already referring to as simple six. And basically what you do is you bet player, banker, player, player, banker, banker in order if you're losing. And as soon as you win, you fall back to the beginning and start again with player, banker, player, player, banker, banker. And it's surprisingly successful. And I think what it really comes down to is that any plan is better than no plan. With these games, and that kind of makes sense. I did try one thing with one of my archive sets. I thought, okay, so what happens if every time I turn around, I switch? So that if I win with a player bet, then after that winning bet, the next bet will be on banker, and then continue down until there's a turnaround. You get my. Doesn't work at all. So it's not right to say any plan will work, but because you can't do most of that kind of stuff with blackjack. That's the trouble. Because apart from anything else, they're paranoid. Oh, fiddle and bloody fart. Double fiddle and double fart, I say to that. 51. That's better. Repeat. That's better too. I was hoping word would get to the whiz that it's pretty silly to make you choose to stand on a natural, but maybe his thinking, or whoever designed this thing for him, their thinking is that well, if you want to do something stupid with a natural, you should be allowed to do it. I don't know. It just seems odd to me. It's unusual. +1 for the win. 51 second. 1, 2 third. Okay, back to the minimum. Heh! I say to that. That's +1, I think, isn't it? It just feels strange having to do that every time. +1. That's as high as we go on a winning streak. Oh. I think I want to repeat that. I don't want to repeat that. No, 3-4, third bet. What's a bloody hard way to get 20? I mean, I did it properly. That looks like a double to me. Yep, it was a double. Okay, so we crashed the 1,000 at about 335, somewhere around there. +1 for the win. +51 second. Oh, 51, 2, 3 third. All right. Back to the men. Lots of action going on this time, isn't there? All sorts of double downs and naturals, and it's really exciting. 51. 2, 3 again. Third bet. Aha, that was handy. Minimum. God, 2 flukes. Look at that. What a waste. '51. 2, 3 again. Third bet. Uh-huh. It didn't seem to make much that time. That's odd. Oh, that's why it's okay. It's because I overbet. +1 for the win. Double down again. God, look at that up there. Pfft. Well, the main thing is, didn't win. It's always a good thing when the dealer doesn't win. It's recommended. I think we just do that again. Well, that was a waste of time, wasn't it? I think we double it now. Okay, so now we're at 2,000 at 6.15. That's a bit slow, but hey, it's money in the bank. I hope it stays there. Not at this rate. 1, 2, third. Oh, that's tidy. Okay, back to the men. Double for the loss. Double down. What a load of rubbish. 1, 2, no, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. 8, 6, but we're waiting. Bugger. 8, 6, never mind. Don't mind me. Damn, look at that. I think we're on 9, 6 now. Nine, 6 it is. 15, 12. That was very nice. I like that. That was a clever one. That was a dealer's catch. 3, 4. Yeah, right. So 7, 8. Couldn't keep it up, could we? 7, 8 is second. Uh, 15, 16, third. Oh, blimey. Look at that. Okay, 4,000 at 8.30. So now we're looking good. Yeah, I think the general thing is, don't bet randomly. Be sensible, figure out a plan, stick with it, and obviously I recommend pattern betting, but that's only because it's what I know, because I developed it. Up to you, obviously. I think that's 75, but I'm not absolutely sure. That'll look great. So that's 2, 3. That's another nice one, isn't it? It's like I say, dealer's catch. The wizard, I think, has got confused and has come over to this side of the table. All right. What a waste. Okay, so that's the end of the first, or coming up to be the end of the first, thing. So we're 4,200 one shoe. That's not too bad, is it? So 51, 2, 3, third. Just right. Back to the min. +1 for the win. 51 second. 51, 52, 3 again, third. Oh, oh dear. Oh dear, 8.6 minimum. Alright, 8.6 it is. We'll clear that. Ugh. 8, 6, 14, 12 second. Oh, blimey. Well, that worked, didn't it? Whew. Getting some nice double downs, but and I dare say that guy who said that this sim is crooked is probably still watching and saying, no, it's just you can't beat, you can only beat it because you're controlling it. Okay, +1 for the loss. Jolly nice try. Double. Oh dear. So I think that's 2-3 again. We keep getting into the 2-3 situation. Oh, very nice. Another dealer's catch. 2-3 back to the minimum. That's rude. Oh, that's even ruder. 1-2, third. Three-two minimum. 3-2 it is. Five, 4. I like that. 1-2. What did I just do? Oh Christ. 3-4. I did a boo-boo there. Well, it would have bust me anyway. No, I'd have got the. No, it would have bust me. Wait a minute. I'm getting mixed up here. Oh gold. 6-7. To hell with it. 13-15. Now I'm going mad. Third bet. Alright, so something went wrong somewhere along the line there, but it all gets in the record eventually. You will make mistakes, all of you. Don't care who you are. What the hell was it? I think we're on 2-3 again. 5-3 minimum. 5-3 it is. Bugger. So now we move to 5-6 because we're allowed to do that. We don't normally double large bets over 100, but in the essence of, in pursuit of excellence, efficiency and so on, if we can bump something up into a turnaround bet, then that's good. 5-6. I think that might be a minimum now. 5-6, 11-6 min. 11-6, away we go. 17, now we're getting into real money. 1712. 5/6. Oh, that was cheeky. Another dealer catch. Where are you, wizard? Definitely you're in the wrong place. That was 5/6, wasn't it? So I'm back to the minimum. I think we'll split those. Shouldn't have done that, should I? Oh, stupid. Okay. Kind of thought that might happen. And otherwise I'd have pushed. And look, I pushed. Sometimes that can work though. +1 for the push. 51 second. Repeat it. I don't believe that. See, he's moved back over there now. 2-3. Good enough. Double for the loss. Gonna have to do it again. What a waste. Double for the tie. Okay, 1, 2. That may not actually be enough. 3, 4, third. Oh boy. There you go. I like them when they do that. 7,000 at 17 minutes. That was nice. No, it didn't have a prayer, did it? Uh, 1, 2, third bet. 3, 2, minimum. Huh? Hate splitting them against an ace, I tell you. Well, that worked out. So we're on 3-2 now. One, 2. Oi. Well, that worked out. I think we're almost at the end of this. Double for the loss. Bummer. Alright. I think I might be, oops. I think I might be back to the minimum there, but I'm not absolutely sure. It's going to be a yellow card any minute. Huh. No yellow card. +1. And there's the yellow. Okay, well I'm not going to chase that. I mean, we've made 7,725 in 2 shoes and in 19.5 minutes. So I think I'll call that a success. And those who actually think that this is an easy to beat sim, I think that they need to put their money where their mouth is, so to speak, because it's not real money, it's funny money. But just go and do their thing. Don't try and copy the strategy. Don't do anything sensible. Just try and beat this sim, because I mean it's consistently kicking my ass. in terms of wins to losses or losses to wins. But happily, pattern betting is enabling us to keep the upper hand. So there you are. That's it for now. I will talk to you later. Cheers.